Okay, we're back again. Just taken or received my C4 Corvette rear suspension. It's the Dana 44. Easiest way I can tell that I remember. Has the two bolts up the top here, where the 36 only has the one in the middle. I've checked all the half shafts. They all look like they're actually pretty good condition. I'll probably change them out anyway. The kit came with all the upper and lower control arms, the sway bar, link, both rotors, calipers. They hacked the handbrake cable unfortunately, which is quite typical, but we'll figure something out there. So I've got the complete rear differential, including the joints for the front of the universals to the drive shaft. But yeah, so that has been received. I've also received in the same shipment, just bear with me, oh, there's my beast, the Flatout engineering rear kit. You got your crossbar, your sidebars which hold or hinge your upper and lower control arms, and a whole heap of different brackets. I haven't even looked at the instructions, the bolts and that yet, but it is all there. I also had Don supply me with the coilovers. I got another set of the Aldan American coilovers, so I think they look pretty cool. And a number of guys on the different clubs have recommended them, so yeah, I have those as well to go in. So if I get in here, basically reposition my jack stands onto my chassis rail, and then I can basically undo the leaves, drop out whatever diff this is. I think it's some sort of an early Chevelle small block engine diff, because of the upper arms. If it was out of something like a Nova or what have you, it wouldn't have had those because the Novas were on a leaf anyway. So I'm not too sure what it is, but I'm thinking early Chevelle. But we can take that all out. We don't have to worry about the front suspension because obviously that is all done separately. As to the front, yes, it still hasn't been welded, and I know I said it would be welded last time, but I ain't no welder and I'm relying on someone else, and he's overseas. So I have got in and cut out the notches for the power steering kit to go through, and I have sent the power steering kit away to be repaired, to change all the seals, because it was leaking into the boots. Just to have it a once over, make sure when I put it in here it is ready to go. I did run into a little snafu on this side. As you can see, there's a piece of 4x2 sitting there because I had a damage to this outer side of the chassis rail here, and I'd previously cut that out to get ready to put a new section of metal in when the welder came. So when I cut my arches here, the only thing left holding the front of the chassis rail up was the thin bar along the top side here, and I had it braced in the front, and so it basically folded down. So what I did, there's one of my bolts there. What I did is I mounted the piece of 4x2 on this side, drilled out through some of the holes in the chassis rail. You can see all my measurements going along. I went out past, all the way down behind the suspension, all the way to the front, down to here, and even included that mounting for the old leaf shackle. Drilled it all out, moved it across back to this side, mounted up the rear, and then basically started jacking up the front until all the holes started to line up again, and bolted in. So this piece of wood's basically holding it at the moment, and it is pretty strong. I got it to about 1 millimetre out at this stage, and I'm pretty happy with 1 millimetre slightly lower on the chassis rail. That's pretty good for me. I'll probably give it a slight twack with the hammer just before we start welding everything, just to get it that 1 millimetre higher. But yeah, so if my my welding man doesn't come in and start shortly, basically I'm going to jump into those rears and get the rears in. So fingers crossed we'll have some actual progress for you all shortly.